All right, Inspire Beauty. I am so freaking blessed to introduce to you our speaker for tonight. Her name is Joy Harrington. Joy, honestly, she doesn't know this. I haven't even told her this yet, so this is a surprise. Joy was sitting, I was on the cruise ship on the Success Club cruise this last year, and Joy was sitting with her husband kitty corner in my direct sight line from where we were having dinner with our dear friends. And honestly, my friend across from me, Julianne, she knew Joy, and her, Trina and Joy, they went out and took pictures. They came back in, this and that. But I couldn't take my eyes off of Joy because I thought to myself, this girl has it. Like, she's got an it factor. And I know that you were at New Leader Conference this past year, right? And New Leader Conference is really, it's a crazy honor to be invited to it, but it almost can be a stall out for a lot of coaches because they get to this event and you have to leave the event and you have to actually do something. And what's really crazy is I saw you on that cruise ship and I knew, I was like, this girl's got the it factor. And you do, because you freaking went and you did something. You guys, she is, I think as of Friday, I saw you were number 155 in the network, something crazy awesome like that. And it's just such a blessing and a gift to hear from her tonight. You guys, she's going to talk all about leveling up your mindset and your business and just going for it. And so Joy, you can take it away.
Oh my gosh, well, thank you for having me. I had no idea that was you sitting across from Julianne, so I should have paid better attention. And next time, just introduce yourself. It's funny you say that because that night I was definitely feeling fluffy in my dress. So looking back, I'm like, oh no, don't tell me you saw me in that dress. But hi guys, my name is Joy Harrington. I'm a wife and a mom of two. I live in Denver, Colorado. I joined Beachbody it was like April of 2016. I had just come off the hardest year of my life. No joke. I had my second baby and we moved from Oregon to Colorado within 2 weeks of her being born. And then I got postpartum depression and my husband started traveling a ton for work, so he wasn't really around. And I was juggling a toddler and a newborn and postpartum depression, and nursing didn't work out. It was like a whole storm. And 5 months into that, I discovered an addiction my husband had that I didn't even know about, and everything blew up. And so our marriage totally blew up. I was done. I wanted to get divorced. So I entered this huge grieving stage in my life and was on the couch, basically suicidal for like months. And when I finally started to come out of that, I was ready to stop feeling so yuck, basically. I didn't like the person I was. I didn't like feeling like crap. I didn't like being on the couch. I didn't like being angry and bitter and a victim in my life. And I knew if I didn't do something that I would continue to be this person, and I would drive my kids away and I would drive people away in my life that I loved. And I also knew, and it really sucked to know this, that even though some of this happened not by my choice, it was only up to me to do the work to change. So that's actually when I joined Beachbody. And everybody hears that and thinks I'm just trying to plug Beachbody, but it's the truth, because I saw coaches changing as people. I didn't just see them losing weight. I didn't just see them building an income, which I wanted. I saw them changing from these negative, unhappy people into these positive, inspiring people who were doing something with their life. And I wasn't ready to do like intense therapy on me. We were already doing a lot of intense therapy, but I thought I could do that. I could read some of those books they're talking about. I could work on myself, and I could for sure start making money because I knew I was ready to start having some more independence on my own. So I joined Beachbody as a coach from the get-go. Never tried the programs, the products, nothing. But I saw other people getting results, so I knew this had to work. In fact, it was watching my favorite fashion blogger finally endorse Shakeology that I was like, seriously, what the F, man? Everybody's on this shake. I just need to do this. So I signed up as a coach, and before my stuff arrived, because this was back when you had to wait for your DVDs, I had signed up 2 girls to join me. And that's because from day one, I knew this was going to be a business. So I was going to treat it like a business, and I was going to work like I had a boss that I was reporting to every day. So I set business hours from day one. And I texted my coach and said, hey, I just spent a crap ton of money. How am I going to make this back? Because I really need to make this back. So she told me, make a list, start conversations. So I made a list, started conversations. Then when I got to the part where I thought, hey, I could put an invite here, I said, what do I say? So she told me what to say, and I literally just followed what she said. And got a whole bunch of people not responding, got a whole bunch of no's, but I got a couple of girls that were like, sure, like what, tell me more. And I was like, oh my gosh, really? And in that first month, hit Success Club 10, went Emerald, and was like, okay, maybe I can do this thing. In fact, I remember popping some champagne with my husband and celebrating my first paycheck because I felt so accomplished to be getting like 50 bucks. But I was like, hey, it's more than I was making doing nothing. So I started running in the business. I hit Diamond about 5 months in, and then stalled like most people do, because you hit Diamond and you think, awesome, now I just help all my coaches hit Diamond, right? Isn't that how this goes? And thought that I should just dig in with them and like coach them and like help them want it more. And nothing happened. Nothing happened. And then actually my coach ended up stopping working the business only a few months after that. And her coach kind of up the line. So I felt really alone and like I had no direction, like I didn't know what to do. Looking back, I wish somebody had been like, the next step is you build your husband a diamond. Get on it, because I wish I would have from then. But I just kept putting coaches under me and talking to customers and just converting people. And I attracted a whole bunch of discount coaches. Discount coaches have a place and they're great. But I was attracting discount coaches because I was approaching people for the discount, right? And then, let's see, I sat at Diamond until last summer. So what was last summer? 2018. One of my coaches managed to get to Diamond. And I was like, awesome. So I finally locked in 1 star. She held it for 6 weeks and then she fell. And at this point, I had built up my husband some, but I had not built him to a diamond yet. He was not a solid diamond. I don't think I had even qualified with him yet. So I managed to hit that 1 star mark to get my invite to NLC, but then I was right back to diamond. So I started this year as a paid diamond coach. And a couple of things happened for me. One, last September, November, I signed this mom of 7 who was just freaking excited. She was so excited to be on her own journey. She was so excited to go all in that she jumped in and she started signing people. And I thought, oh my gosh, I actually have a coach that wants to like do this. And she's excited. So this is what it's like to sign someone that actually wants the business. You have kind of an aha moment. But 2, I got so frustrated with the work not being worth the reward that I was willing to do whatever it took to change. And when coaches aren't willing to do whatever it takes to change, they haven't actually committed and they're not frustrated enough. And I know that sucks to hear, but you kind of have to get frustrated in order to change. It's the same with like our weight loss and everything else. We have to get frustrated with how we are before we're willing to do the work to change. So a couple of things, I decided that I had been complaining way too much. I had been sitting there saying, well, I can't find business builders. None of my coaches want to run. I don't have an upline. I don't have this or that. I don't know what I'm doing. No one's noticing me. A whole bunch of stuff that is facts, right? You could legitimately look at that and say, sure. But because I was stuck on that, I kept manifesting it in my life, because what you think about expands, what you focus on grows. And I kept focusing on that. And so nothing was happening in my business. 2, I was not acting really like a leader, right? I wanted to call myself this leader and think I was so cool for being a lifetime 1 star. And in reality, I wasn't really working like a leader did, right? I wasn't really willing to sacrifice what leaders do. So I decided to write down a list of everything that I had been not willing to do. And a whole bunch of us think, well, there's not much that I would put on that list that I'm not willing to do. Okay, what do you say no to? What do you say I don't have time for? What do you say I can't because? What do you complain about? Because really a complaint is an excuse and I'm not willing to do. So every time I was like, oh, I can't devote, this much time to one-on-one calls with my team, that was I'm not willing to do. And every time it was, well, I can't, I don't want to show up on a team call if nobody else is. That's I'm not willing to do. Right? So I had to look at that list and go, okay, clearly this hasn't worked. If I'm not willing to do these things, I'm not going to get the reward. So I got to take as much off of this as possible and put it on I am now willing. I am now willing and ready to do this. And so what it came down to was anytime I wanted to complain, anytime I wanted to talk negatively or talk about a problem, I decided that I was the problem in my business, period. It was not up to my team. It was not up to my customers. It was not up to my upline. I'm the only one that can make me successful. I'm the only one that can speed me up or slow me down. And that comes down to taking 100% responsibility for my success, including my downline. No, that does not mean doing the work for them. It does mean, hey, I can't just go Emerald and sign on some coaches and be like, guys, go Emerald. I told you to go Emerald. It means I start hosting an Emerald call 2 times a month and inviting the entire downline and saying, get on the call. I'm going to help you go Emerald. There's a big difference there between wanting to tell people what they should do versus saying, I'm going to even do this for you. I'm going to even put this into place. So all you have to do is show up. All you have to do is invite your coaches and show up. And if you're not showing up, I'm still going to reach out to you and even invite your coaches to get on the call and go Emerald. I just did this for a coach of mine last week. She's not doing well in her personal life. She's kind of stepped back from the business. One of her customers is in my group. She wanted to talk about trying Shakeology. She wanted to talk about the team. I signed her as a coach under my coach for her last week. I took care of her for her. I didn't wait for my coach, who's not doing well right now, to step up. I did it for her. So it's taking 100% responsibility in things that I wouldn't have taken responsibility in before. I looked at, instead of complaining about Success Club and potentially losing my however many months of Success Club 10 because I wasn't active, realizing that was my fault. I have 1 business center to manage. So if I can't even manage that, I'm not going to get 2, right? But so often we want to complain about things and expect to get more. So I started looking at, how was I talking about the business? If I'm not attracting business builders, what am I doing that's not attracting them? And then I started asking, well, what would attract a business builder? Who is a business builder to me? What do they want? What do they look for? Who is the coach they would want to follow? Am I being her? Because I truly believe who you are is way more important than what you do, because we attract who we are. We don't attract what we want. We attract who we are. So who you're attracting right now should be a lesson to you and reflecting to you who you are, whether you like that or not. So let it learn. Let you learn from it, basically. Let it be a lesson. Learn from it. So I looked at, why am I not rank advancing? Because I don't need to wait on my coaches to rank advance. That's my job. Why am I not bringing on business builders? That's my job. Why am I not filling up sneak peeks? That's my job. Anything that it was easy to point at my team and say, hey, they're not showing up, I took responsibility for. I decided it didn't matter how my team was. I had to talk to them like they were the number 1 team out there. I had to treat them like they were the bomb.com and tell them how amazing they were, how we were going places, we were going to do big things. I just decided to start telling them these things because we buy the story we tell ourselves, and other people buy the story you tell them. So if I wanted my team to step up and act big and go places, I had to tell them that they were capable of doing that. I had to tell them, I see you guys are on fire. You're doing so much. I'm so proud of you. Like, I can't believe how awesome we're doing. Like, I'm really excited. This is going to be our year. And then they started acting that way. We speak life or death over our business with our words. So what are you talking about when you talk about your team? What are you talking about when you talk about your business? How you talk about it is what is going to be true for you, because it's the story you're telling yourself and everybody else. So if you want that to change, you've got to change your story. Another thing that changed for me was I decided to send gifts to a whole bunch of my coaches for Christmas, not to get anything back and not to like ask them to then join me for something. It was literally, I just want to bless and love on people because these people joined me and trusted me to help them in their life in some way. So I just want to give because it's fun to give and to just express gratitude for people. So I sent a whole bunch of them, not all of them, but I sent a whole bunch of them a book, the I Am That Girl book. And I sent them a bracelet that said, she believed she could, so she did. And it was literally just that I just want you to know have an awesome Christmas. I was thinking about you. I'm really grateful for you. Thank you for trusting me and joining me as your coach. I don't take that lightly. I would love to do this book with you in January as a team and do a book club. I just invited them to be a part of a team. I didn't invite them to build a business. I invited them to be with other people who could have their back and say, I want to do this with you. I want to work on me with you. And that changed everything because people were so touched just getting a gift for no reason. They were so touched to see that I just cared about them as a person, that one of my discount coaches, who had been a discount coach for forever and a very inactive one at that, started working the business in January, and she just finished qualification for 1-star. Yeah. So look at how that changed. And she said it's all because she got a book, and I had no idea that she was at a point in her time where she was going, I don't even know what my purpose is. I feel so lost. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do or who I am. And she got a bracelet that said she believed she could, so she did. And she said that bracelet changed everything. And then she started reading the book. She was on Christmas break. And it was the first personal development book she ever read. And it helped her get through some of her baggage. She realized, I think I want to do this. I think I want to try to build income from home so I don't have to work this job. And she did quit her job. So it's amazing to realize what just giving out what you want to get back will do for you. But so often we show up to our business, we show up to work wondering what's in it for us. We come wanting someone to buy from us. We come wanting someone to show up and build a business for us. We come just wanting to get. And I'm here to tell you that you need to show up to give. As a coach, you are here to serve. You are here to help people, period. You are here to be a blessing. You are not here to ask. You are here to give. And so be that person, because guess what? It feels so much better because you can show up cheerful and excited to give to other people, knowing that it doesn't matter what comes back to you from that person. Everything comes back to you. Whatever you're putting out there, the vibe you're putting out there, it all comes back to you in some form or another. And gratitude changes your whole business. So find a way to incorporate gratitude into your business. I decided to have open hands because it's so easy to hold on so tightly to our coaches. It's easy to hold on so tightly to customers and, oh my gosh, they're not ordering, or they're leaving, or they went to another coach, or whatever. And all that is scarcity mindset. And when you build from a place of scarcity mindset, things are hard because things are scarce. So you have got to work on abundance mindset and realizing there is more than enough for you, just waiting for you to tap into it. In fact, it's everywhere. Abundance is all around you. You've got people waiting to join you. You just have to go out there and find them. Let it be fun to find them instead of worrying there's only so many, because that's not true. I tell myself, one of my affirmations is that I'm a powerful businesswoman and people are lining the streets to work with me. And I started saying that when it wasn't true. Most days it's not true. I do not have people lining the street to work with me, but I say that because I am speaking that into existence. I am speaking that over my business. I want to show up that way, confident, knowing I can be generous. I don't have to hold so tight to things, because when you're holding so tight to things, you can't even receive. So be willing to have your hands open, let people go. People will come and go, but that's okay. Know if people leave, there's more room for people who are better fit and who want it better. That's what I've had to say, because when you start running hard, people will either rise up or leave in your team. And I've had people leave, but I've had people rise up, and they wouldn't have risen if I hadn't have started running. So I got really focused on my own business and running freaking hard. I started looking at, well, shoot, I'm not being an example to them of rank advancing, and I should have rank advanced myself already. I should be at least a 1-star solid diamond because I can build my husband's account. When you wait on your team to do things that you're not doing yourself, you show them that they aren't responsible for their success because you're not taking responsibility for it. When you show them you have no excuses and you literally made it happen without them, that's when they're like, oh, I guess I have no excuses, right? So I started running hard. I started running a sneak peek every week, and I made it my responsibility to fill it, not theirs. I started talking about the business in a very confident way because I sat down and asked myself what the future successful me looked like. And I knew, I was like, I want 15 star. Okay, what does the 15 star version of me look like? What does she wake up and think? Does she worry about finding people to join her? No, she would probably laugh at that. Does she like worry when she starts a GSR that she doesn't know how to help people get started? No, like she comes successful AF, knowing that she is, and excited to help someone and tells them, I know how to get you where you want to go. Let's go. Let's run. She doesn't sit there and go, oh, maybe you could go Emerald in like your first month if you like sign up 2 people. No, she's like, hey, this is what you're going to do. You told me you want to run. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to sign up 2 people in your first 24 hours. It's not hard. I'll walk you through it. Let's go get you 2 people, right? She knows how to position herself with other people. And the secret to this business, no matter who you are, is positioning yourself as someone that other people trust to get them where they want to go. Because the 2 questions people ask when they sign up with you are, can this give me the results that I want? Like, will this actually work for me? And can this person get me there? So you have to know how to position yourself with confidence. And why we don't do that is because we think in order to have confidence, we have got to be able to point back to some proof that we've already done this, therefore we can be confident. But that's not true. That's not how any of the successful coaches got to where they were going. They didn't get successful and then decide they could be confident. They're successful because they decided they could be confident because they had committed. You are confident when you've officially committed. So when I took leaving off the table, when I took the whole maybe this won't actually work off the table, when I took the self-doubt away and said I was no longer allowed to think that way, that's when I got confident because I had actually gone all in. But it's so easy to work this business and not actually go all in. It's so easy to let that doubt keep creeping in the back of our head. Maybe this is just something I'm going to try for a while. Maybe I'm supposed to be doing something else. Maybe it's the wrong company. You know what I'm talking about? We all get that. And I struggled majorly with that last year. So it's no wonder my business was completely stalled out because I was sitting there not committed. When you decide there's no back door, I can't leave, I'm making this work, come hell or high water, I will do whatever it takes, I will not give up. That's when your confidence comes because you know that you won't give up. You will make this happen no matter what. So you can tell someone, I'm the coach that can get you there because I know I'm not going anywhere. Your confidence isn't based on what you've already done. It's based on you knowing where you're going. It's you knowing that you're not going to quit. So you've got to really commit in your mind. It's so easy to think that we've committed, but if you're not doing the action, the big action that someone who is committed does, you haven't actually committed. You're just wishing. So I tell my coaches, you know that you've committed when your action starts to match what you've committed to. So I upped my invites. I took 100% responsibility. I had open hands. I also decided to set regular business time every day during the week, and I had it scheduled into my calendar. So I would get up in the morning and stick to my morning routine, first off, which is taking care of me. So I'd work on my mindset. I would do affirmations. I would write out all of my I am statements. Any of you guys follow Rachel Hollis? She talks about writing out what is going to happen for you as if it already has. I write out every day, I am a 15-star diamond. And I would write out every day, I am a 5-star diamond. I'm going to leadership. Even when it didn't look like it was going to happen, I write it out every day. And now it's happening. I'm going to leadership, right? But that's helping you stick to your own commitments. You got to write it out as an I am because you want to feel the way that person feels already. You want to show up as that person. You got to feel what that person feels. So if I'm telling myself these things in a confident way, I can tap into confidence that I didn't have before. I can create that and generate that for myself. So I'd write all of those down, all of my I am statements. And then I would do my workout, like do all of my own stuff, right? Because I knew the 15-star version of me does not miss. She doesn't miss a day. She doesn't miss her shake. She doesn't like fool around with the meal plan. Not that I'm perfect. I'm not. I have my treats. But I knew like she was way more committed mentally to her nutrition and fitness plan than I was acting. So I got serious about that. And then I would get dressed, I would get ready, and I would work. I would show up to work like I was a CEO of $1 million company. And I knew a CEO of $1 million company didn't show up to work like, oh, I guess maybe now I could probably get some work done. So I'm going to sit down and like, wait, what should I even be doing? And I'm in my sweaty yoga clothes and like my hair is in a bun and, oh, somebody's calling me, so I'm going to answer the phone. You can't live reactive in your life if you want to go somewhere with this business, which means it's so easy to live by other people's schedules. So, oh, someone just messaged you. So how about you check your message real quick? But you were doing invites. Oh, someone's calling you. Answer the phone. It's your mom. But you were doing your power hour. That's living reactionary in your time. And something that successful people across the board do is they decide and live by their schedule. They don't live by everybody else's. So I don't answer the phone if I'm working. And I set that from day one, actually. I remember setting my power hours to be at my kitchen table during nap time when the kids were in bed. And I used to talk during nap time on the phone to people or watch reality TV. And I remember getting those phone calls when I first started going, I'm working, so I can't talk. And I wouldn't answer the phone because I had to get my power hour done. So it's living by those non-negotiables as if you already have a successful business. Everyone thinks once they have the successful business, then they can have those non-negotiables, but that's backwards. You're not going to get the success without making it a priority and having those non-negotiables. So have it scheduled in and then act like it's already a successful business. Act like you have employees. Well, shoot, if you have employees to direct, that means you better be an example, right? And how you show up. So I started doing that. I did not schedule appointments during that time. I was like, this is work time, so I'm going to get to work. I made sure to talk to my phone a few times a week to the camera in my stories, telling people my story, telling people where my team was going, and telling them the plans I had made for my team. So that's vision casting, right? Vision casting is huge, not just for your team, but for your prospects. Are you telling them where you're going? I told them I have a house booked. I'm going to host a retreat because I'm going to have 5 diamonds by this date. And I booked it. And then I asked them, hey, I need people to do like photography for our photos. I need people to do our makeup. Do you have recommendations? I'm so excited. This is going to be an amazing retreat. I showed them all the behind the scenes of planning it. I had 0 diamonds, you guys, but I told them that I would have diamonds and that I was planning this. And I gave my team a deadline to hit it by, and I said it could be for anyone in the downline. And I had 2 diamonds show up at that retreat. And one of them hit it late, but I was like, who cares? Just come. Like, I'm just excited to have 2 diamonds. And I hosted a retreat, and I asked some people in the large team that I'm a part of to get on a call to like give them some training while they were there. And I made it a big freaking deal. And I told my team about more goals that are coming and more things that I'm planning. I'm constantly telling them where we're going and what's coming, so that they know like, oh, this is coming. Maybe I should get with it type thing. Maybe I should want to be there. Because I tell them anybody can be there. It's your job to decide. And it's never a bad time to decide to bet on yourself. It's never a bad time. It's never too late. So I just publicly put it out there. And so I actually had somebody tell me that she thought we were already an elite team at like the beginning of the year because of how I was talking about my business. I was like, are you kidding me? I was like a diamond coach. I was like, I wasn't even premier or anything last year. Like, so that just goes to show how you position yourself, how you talk about things is how people will think about you. And how people think about you is what decides if they want to join you or not. Because business builders, real ones who are leaders, don't want to be managed. They want to be led. And to be led means they want to be inspired. That means they want to run with someone who's running hard, who's going big, who's not afraid to say it, and who has a vision, right? And saying, this is where we're going. So I realized I had to position myself that way, and I had to start talking that way and showing up that way. I started doing weekly Emerald calls. So I started hosting a weekly, well, it was every other week, for my whole team, basically having everybody get on the phone. I would explain what Emerald was. I said we were going to go Emerald in 24 hours. I would give them ideas of how people they could talk to. I'd give them verbiage, all of it. And we would all share names that we were going to go invite to the business, and we would get off the call and go invite them. And then you start shouting people out as they sign coaches. Are there weeks where nobody does? Yes, but you keep going. So back to my other point of, you got to be willing to be the first in everything, and you've got to be willing to be alone in everything. So I have had team calls where I'm the only person on the call. And it's so easy as a leader to get discouraged, but I look at that and I go, it has to start with me. I just birthed something new. If I wait for other people to show up, this will never happen. It has to start with just me. And sure enough, it starts with just me, and then maybe one other person, and then maybe a couple, and it slowly grows, right? But if you're not willing to show up alone and first, nobody else is going to show up. So that's where you have to be the coach that you want to recruit. You have to be the coach that's your dream coach. Most of us have a dream coach, and we're not even close to living up to what we would want our dream coach to do. Well, that's ironic, right? Be the coach you want to recruit, and then maybe you'll start attracting those people. Let's see, pour greatness. I went out every day with the intention of pouring greatness to 3 people. And it would either be 3 people on my team, or it'd be 3 people in my news feed for Instagram or Facebook, or maybe someone I met last week. And if it's my team, I'd be like, I see you. You're doing so awesome. I believe so much in you. I know you can make this happen. I see you're halfway to Emerald, like whatever it is. Awesome job. I know you're going to do this. Or if it was somebody that I just met on Instagram, I'd be like, hey, what's your address? I want to send you something. And I've never had anybody be like, what? That's weird. Never, because I don't act weird. I'm just like, hey, girl, I was thinking about you today. What's your address? I want to send you something. And I would send them a little card and just tell them, I love seeing your feed. Thanks for brightening my day. I think you're inspiring. And I think the world needs more of you. And I just wanted to tell you that. So thanks for doing that for me. And I've had people in tears telling me, I've never gotten a card like this before from anybody. So just putting out what I wanted to get back. I just tried to show up every day and say, how am I going to get what I want? Well, it's by giving. It's by giving what I want to get. So I'm going to go give to people today. I'm just going to go love on people. I'm going to help people. Yes, I will look for opportunities and I will ask for those. But I'm here to just give and love on other people and have less mindset of I have to get mine. I don't have to get mine. I have to give. It will come to me. Shout out other people. Shout out other people's businesses. Like, there is so much to go around. We don't have to worry about shouting other people out. So love on people. Give them what you want back. Affirmations, I talked about that. Show up daily as the future you. Show up daily as the future successful you. And that comes back to affirmations 100%. I think that's about it that I've got on this page. Can you think of anything else that you've got for me?
Oh, it's so good. No. I mean, no, because you nailed it. But can I ask you some questions that I think might be helpful for my team? So listening to this call, we're going to have coaches who we actually have our first diamond retreat coming up. And you actually also don't know this, but you inspired me to breathe life into that before it existed for our team. And so it's happening. It's so exciting. We got matching pajamas. Can't wait. But talk to me about the coach that's like totally capable of making this retreat happen, because they need to be diamond by the end of this month, right? And we have a lot of coaches who are so close to that. Talk to that coach. I know you talked about rank advancing without waiting. What did that look like in a tangible, way for your business when you're like, okay, I can't wait. These are the action items I have to do right now to rank advance without worrying about my team.
Totally. Well, first of all, if you're not even to diamond, if you have a spouse that's under you, you make them emerald, right? You build your legs up to as many as you need. You make your spouse emerald. And I will tell you guys, when I went diamond, one of my other coaches was on the fence about being a discount coach or a working coach. And she signed one person under her. And so I signed her second person to make her emerald. I made that decision for my business. I looked at my husband and said, should I do this or not? And he goes, you have to do what's best for your business. And I knew I wanted a diamond. So I made that decision for me. I don't know how you want to think about your business. That's 100% for you. That hit diamond herself. Let's see, I'm trying to remember Shay. She got her husband to Emerald. She signed enough people on her legs, and then she got a couple of girls, and we just worked hard with them to get them to Emerald, right? Those Emerald calls. She didn't wait for them to just figure out how to go Emerald, and I didn't wait for her to help them figure out how to go Emerald. I was on the phone with them, with her, getting people to sign up with them type thing. So it's more about how much is possible for you to actually do in this? Well, a lot. You can help them. You can get on the phone. You can help them prospect. You can help them with verbiage. You can walk them through the conversations. I even tell my coaches, especially my new ones, I'll get on 3-way calls. All you have to do is invite people to check out the info, get me on a 3-way call, and I'll answer all the questions. I will sign them up for you, under you. So it's being willing to go that extra distance and not just wait on your coaches to figure that out.
I love that. I love that. I'm hoping that will speak some life into some of my coaches that are just so stinking close right now. Okay. On the flip side of that, then I'm going to have some people on tonight's call who, because they've dove into this team challenge that we're hosting this month, they're very green in the business. One of my requirements, some of my requirements include the business activity tracker. And I know when I require them to turn in their tracker, but I don't scrutinize it. I don't like fine tooth comb it. You know, I'm very respectful of what people, I look at it like a habit tracker.
Yeah.
And same thing with like a Rachel Hollis idea. If I'm looking at how I'm tracking my habits, now I can see where the cracks are to fill in. Most often the cracks that a coach needs to fill in when they're greener is getting comfortable posting on social media regularly, as well as then using that to their advantage to then follow up and invite. Can you talk to that new coach about just a really basic first step for them to like rip the Band-Aid and make that a consistent behavior?
As far as posting on social media?
Yep, and using that then to leverage.
Yes. So with my new coaches, I just tell them to show up every day on social media. I don't tell them it has to do with anything, with the business or Beachbody or anything. I go, but you're a person and you have interests and you have things to talk about. So I have them make a list of like, what's the hardest thing you've been through in your life? And how did you overcome it? What are things that you're a total nerd about, that you know a lot about just for free, just because you think it's fun? Awesome. Like we come up with ideas like that and there's posts, right? You can also talk about where you want to go. And Trina actually just did this for us the other day. And she talked about what does success look like for you in your health, in your finances, in your relationships, you can go down the line. And she was like, go make a post about all of these things. Like that can be your social media for a month if you wanted to, because you could come at it from different angles. But if you're not on social media, your storefront's not open, because that's your storefront. And if your storefront isn't open, or if your storefront is hit or miss with its hours, people don't trust you because they don't know when your store is open. A big part of posting every day is building trust. So people see you're here, you're showing up, you're here, you're showing up. So I tell them, just do a post. You don't need to worry about it being perfect. You don't need to worry about the picture being perfect. You should be in it preferably. And it should be something that helps someone in some way. So whether that's entertainment or educating them on something they might not know, or just inspiration, which showing up for yourself in a workout regularly or showing up for yourself when you don't feel like it is inspiring. People think inspiration is so hard. No, just showing up is inspiring, right? So show up so that you have something to invite to, or invite from, because when you're not on social media, it's hard to invite. My invites come from who's liking my posts, who's watching my stories, specific stories about either the business or a workout. If I don't have those, what am I inviting from? So like you can't really do one without the other. So show up every day on social media. You got to form the habit. It's got to be a non-negotiable along with your workout, your shake, all of that. And then the next day, now you know what you're inviting from. I guess those are my best tips.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. I love it. I love it. And then last thing, what is your favorite personal development book right now that you're reading or listening to on Audible?
Oh my gosh, that's hard to pick. But I will say one that I'm really digging into with myself and with my team is called The Habit of Leading Yourself. I think it's The Habit of Leading Yourself. It might be The Art of Leading Yourself, but it's by Kayla Craft, who's my mentor right now. And it's all about helping you become a better leader of yourself. Because really, that's all that success is becoming a better leader of yourself. Once you're a better leader of yourself, other people will follow you. But oftentimes, we have standards for other people. We've raised the standards for them. That doesn't matter. You need to raise the standard for yourself and how you show up and how you do your workouts and how you show up on social media. You need to lead yourself better. So I love that one.
That's awesome. And do you want to tell us real quick before I
Oh, yeah.
about your exciting?
Yes, I'm launching a podcast. It's going to be somewhat with my husband and somewhat just mine because we have a story with addiction and recovery and healing. And so we're going to share our story on there. We're actually starting to create a marriage course for couples going through that. But we're going to share that on there. It's called Level Up Babe because it's all going to be about using your heart, using your rock bottom as a catalyst to better and leveling up your life. So I'm going to be sharing all kinds of stuff that I've learned over the last few years on how to level up and how to practically do that. So I'm really excited. I'm going to hopefully be launching it like beginning of November. I'm looking for people that want to help share it, help do reviews, and like maybe I can give something back for that. I'm going to create like a Facebook group for a whole bunch of people to be in so I can say like, here you go, here's what's coming, or here's what you can post. And I think I'm probably going to give away stuff for people that are helping out with that. So if you're interested in being in the Facebook group, just let me know, reach out. So I would love that for sure.
Yeah, and whenever that time comes, you can hook me up with the links. If you have an Instagram,
perfect.
And I can share that with my team when that launches. We're so excited for you. How fun!
Thanks. I'm excited too.
Yay! Well, thank you, Joy. I'm going to hit stop on the record.